sat there driving down a gravel road in the back of a police car, a look of fright on my sister's face, trying to hold back the tears. We didn't know where we would go or what the future had in store for us. I was born on May 31st, 1997, in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. My dad is Canadian and my mom is American. Therefore, I have dual citizenship. My dad turned out to be an alcoholic, druggie, and he became abusive. Eventually, we left Saskatoon and moved to Fargo, and then my sister came into the picture. We lived there for a couple years, and then my parents got a divorce. And Mom, my sister, and I moved to Rothesay, Minnesota. And I went to kindergarten with my cousin who lived there at that time, with his family and my grandparents. Then I moved to a ton of other places and my cousin moved too. Eventually, my mom met my future stepdad, and that's when I had my first experience with the police. And I was only in 3rd grade, which is really pathetic. Mom called the police because I told her that I was going to run away from home and eat coconuts to survive, even though coconuts don't grow in Minnesota. Several times I left and lived with my uncle and aunt or my grandparents. My stepdad was 72, so he didn't do anything fun with me. Finally, the summer of 8th grade, I got kind of annoyed with my mom because she was telling me I couldn't have food in my room or the living room or something like that, even though she ate in her room and living room, and I usually ended up picking up her trash that she left lying around, and sometimes I even did it on my own free will, hoping to earn a reward for my good deeds, but that rarely happened. And my sister was usually favored more than me, mainly because I was too much like my dad, who I only got to see about 3 times in 11 years. So when I got annoyed, Mom was upstairs cleaning and I was eating a cookie. And I took it upstairs and she had a royal fit, so just to annoy her more, I pretended to break the cookie in half and no crumbs got on the floor. But then she got really mad and started chasing me around the house. Then I ran outside and she sent my stepdad after me. When I made it inside, he chased me up to my room where he cornered me there and I shut the door and held it shut. Then he kicked the door open and I flew into the back of the bookcase behind the door. That was when we had a fight. And he punched me in the face just hard enough so that my sister and I would leave. Then he left and went downstairs to call the police because he knew what they'd do. When the officer came, he brought with a social worker. They decided to take us to a foster home. We went to a foster home right on Star Lake, so I did a lot of fishing. After about 2 weeks, we got picked up by our grandparents, who became our temporary foster parents until we would go to a relative permanently. From this experience, I learned that life is not fair. I also learned that not everything works out the way you might want it to. I feel depressed but yet happy because if I get to move to Canada again, I will see my dad more often and I would also get to see my mom.